everybody, it's me, Laura, and today we're going to be doing another addition to my segmented petal canes. Now, I know you guys are like, whoa, another addition to this. I'm like, yeah, because there's so much you can do with this cane. I can't even tell you. But right here, I'm bringing in a Skinner blend of my yellow, my pink, and my blue. And, you know, these colors can vary. If you don't like yellow, pink, and blue, or you want to try some other, do it. Absolutely do it. I totally suggest having some fun with this. But anyways, I'm making a Skinner blend. I'm going to roll this up into a fan folded cane. Okay, so from my yellow to my blue, I'm going to fan fold this. I step down on my pasta machine to a number 4 setting, I believe, to kind of lengthen this piece out. And your fan fold can be longer, it can be shorter, whatever. My big thing is that you have a fan folded cane that is, I want to say about an inch, when you get it done, about an inch to an inch and a quarter tall or so. So it's going to be kind of tall and probably be about a half of an inch wide. Now you're going to just go ahead and roll this just slightly so it's kind of a round circular kind of cane and punch it down just a little bit. Once you have this punched down, and I want to say I like to have my canes generally at about an inch tall. I don't like to have them terribly tall because it's hard to really do anything with them. But from here, I'm wrapping this up in my black clay, and the black was flattened out on a number 1 setting on my Atlas pasta machine. And you're just going to wrap that up so it's nice and neat, have it cut flush there on the black. And then once you have this, you're going to go ahead and put some registration marks on it. You know, this particular cane, you know, you have to have registration marks. So put one right on the blue end, put one right on the yellow end, and then go ahead and reduce this cane. Now, I know for some of you that this is really kind of a review, okay? You've seen me do the segmented canes before, but for those who are new to my channel or who have never done, you know, cane work before, this is how I make this particular cane. And if it gives you a little bit of an idea where I start, I'd much rather have you have that here. You can definitely go back and check the other segmented petal cane videos. They are a lot of fun, and you get a bunch of different little options when you create this. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch my hands talk. As I take this cane, I reduce it down, I put it on its side, I flatten it out, and create my 4 sections, which will give you the beginnings of my segmented petal cane. Okay, so this is what it looks like when I start to put together that regular segmented petal cane. But let's go ahead and change up this look into something totally different. All right, so now you're going to take all 4 of those segments, you're going to split them all apart, you're going to take this one, line it up, and then on the top third or even quarter, you're going to cut down onto one of those canes, and then you're going to cut another piece, and then you're going to flip it over. And what I mean is flip it over where the black, the color is going to be looking at you on the side when you lay it down on your tile surface, and then the black will be showing from the other pieces, okay? So right here, I'm going to do it one more time so you can kind of see it. I didn't really show it on the side, but you could tell when I flipped it, that black shows up on the end. So you have a line running through, and then you have a line on the bottom. So right here, once more, you're going to cut it right on the top, lift that away, cut down onto a section, like a square kind of area, if you will. If you want to, the best way to make sure is to measure it. So if you have like, just like I have only this much, try to measure it on your side, that same amount. You could tell I was off by a little bit. So you come in, find your mark it there, cut down. You can see I was really kind of off. Cut down and then lift that away and flip it on its side. And then when you flip this on the side, and it doesn't really matter, you could go either way. I'm flipping outside, so you have like the blue portion showing, and then you have that, you know, the black showing everywhere else. Now, if it does not line up entirely, I found that you just bring in your regular rolling pin, your acrylic roller, and just go right over that and flatten it all to the same thickness, okay? So again, you're turning it over, flat, you know, putting it up against there. And this one, I think I was off by just a little bit because I thought I don't want to measure. Sometimes that ruler is a kind of a hindrance. So I came in, and in this case, I didn't even do that. Now, when you don't make it all the same, I want to say thickness, if you will, when it comes to this, sometimes the line doesn't always connect over to, and I mean the black line doesn't always connect over to the other segments, okay? I really prefer it to have it where it's all connected. So that's why I like to use my acrylic roller and come in and make sure it all connects. Now this one did, so you don't have to really worry. And I just did one segment. I thought, let's just try it. And then we're going to go ahead and create our petal. So in creating my second cane, I decided to try something a little different. So I brought in some of my black clay, and it was rolled out on a number 7 setting. So this is really, really thin because I've already reduced down this sectional, you know, the segmented cane here, and I need something that's going to correspond thickness wise. So I went with a really thin piece of clay, and so number 7, that's pretty thin. You want to go down to an 8, do it. But I found 7 was probably going to be good enough. Anyway, I decided to lay that strip right along one side of where I had my color. I thought if I could give myself more of like a square kind of look, that would be fun. And in doing so, I got this sort of thing. Now, when I did that, I was like, well, I like that, but I really want to add in that extra black, so I really distinctualize between each of those little square sections in the little segmented cane. So that's what I did here. And again, that was done on a number 7 setting with that black clay. From here, I went ahead and took this cane and I rolled it into a rounder cane. And then once I got it down to what I really liked, I then took that cane and I pinched it into a point on the blue side of it. Once I had that down to that, you know, that pinched petal cane, I then cut my slices, and I like to do 6 slices so I can mirror, if I want to, the one that's right next to it. And that's what you're going to see on some of these canes. On the third segmented petal cane, I decided, one, I rolled out some more clay because I, I was getting low. So I had to roll out some more, my magenta, my yellow, and my blue. And this way then I came in and I decided, okay, let's change it up. And if you've looked at any of my videos from before, I really gave you a bunch of different kinds of combinations that you could play with, especially with part 3 in my segmented cane series here, where it really focuses in on the fan folded Skinner blend cane with its different looks in putting it together and getting your different flower petal types. That's where this one can really get detailed, okay? You can come in now and like you saw there, when I flattened it out with my roller, this makes that inner part where I had cut down, makes it all the same thickness now. This works a lot better. Now, mind you, you're going to be a little bit off maybe from the other segments, but probably not too much, okay? And here I just decided I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. I wanted to cut again and then cut your little section, flip it on its side, and then I decided to put both of these two sections together in the middle. Now, I did not add in the black on the center part, and to tell you the truth, I wish I had. There, you know, in this particular cane, it's a different look. You can get almost a mirroring if you wanted to with that Skinner blend if you have it right, if you have it put together right. Like right here, I have the dark to the yellow kind of facing out. Worked pretty good here, but part of me also wanted to put in that little thin strip of black in between those two middle pieces. On this fourth segmented sectional cane, I decided to come in here and I'm going to cut all 4 slices, or I should say all 4 pieces again. And once I have those 4 sections, we're going to take 2 of them, and just like the last one, we'll go ahead and do that same thing where we cut part into it and then roll it over where the color is going to be looking at us, and then you have the black that butts up right against it. You're going to do that with 2 of these pieces, and then what's going to happen is you're going to take both of those pieces and you're going to have them next to a solid piece that hasn't been cut into, and then put another sectional that has been created and put that next to another solid piece. So this way it's like every other one. So in doing this particular cane, I mean, I learned that really the best way to make sure that, because I really want to have that black line going through, kind of creating that square-like little piece in that cane, you know, at least in one of the sections, to make sure it reaches over to the other side to connect up to the other 2 sections. Use your rolling pin, use your acrylic roller to flatten that particular piece. That made a huge difference. When I did that, that really, this way then I didn't need to necessarily use my rolling pin, or I should say my ruler, because the ruler was nice, but that's like, okay, now this is like 1/3 of an inch, 5/8, what, you know, whatever it is, however that thickness is, then you got to go ahead and cut that again. That makes for extra work. To me, I'm like going, how do I make this really simple and easy? The easiest way is to go ahead and take the other 2 pieces that might be bulging out a little bit, push them up against that piece you've rolled over, use your acrylic roller, make sure it's all the same thickness that way, and then just bring it together and it will work just fine. Okay, so on my fifth segmented petal cane here, what I did was I cut all of my sections, all right, and then I took two, just like I had on the last couple, take two of those sections and I cut them, on that lengthwise where I rolled over where you have that color looking at you. So once you have those two, I decided let's go ahead and flip it around a little bit and just see what I get. And I really liked how that, how this really worked. Instead of putting all the yellow on one end and having the, that go that way, I decided let's go ahead, flip one on one end, and then flip the other going the other direction. And you'll notice again that once I had, put this together, I did not have my black line meet all the way over onto the other side. I get impatient. And I don't always roll it out like I should. So, in other words, flatten it down where it's all the same thickness, right? At the same time, though, too, when you do that, sometimes that can create an interesting dynamic. I mean, it kind of like, how do I put this? Sometimes your happy accidents of where, well, it didn't quite meet up, well, that gives it a different look than what you normally would have. And it's something to maybe think about. Maybe you'd rather have it where it's staggered and that black line just kind of disappearing into the other piece. It's a different look, that's for certain. Which is why it also takes me to the point of you can never mess up in polymer clay, at least in my mind. Yeah, you can get to mud, but even from mud, you can get some of the most gorgeous pieces. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use a bullseye to create this segmented sectional cane. And guys, this is my favorite. Yes. I will admit though, this petal almost looked a little bit like a bit of a basket weave, which is weird, right? But I had so much fun. Oh, this is my favorite part. I love that. Yeah, I saved the best for the last, right? Anyway, once I've reduced this thing down, we're going to go ahead and take our acrylic roller. We're going to flatten it out. And you can kind of see right there, you can see that bullseye flattened out. I'm going to come in with my, my ruler here. I'm going to cut it into 4 sections. Once I have all of these 4 sections cut, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a couple of these sections. I'm going to place them up out of the way, take one section. We'll go ahead and do what I have done previously where I cut the top off. As I'm starting to think of this where I'm cutting off the top, I'm moving it away, cutting the square section on the in-between, okay, rolling it on its side. Now look at that color. Oh, I love that. I get the color, I get all giddy. Anyways, and then I'm butting up that other section right next to it. Once I have that, I roll that. Remember, I like to use that rolling pin. It'll flatten it out and it'll get it to where that black will reach both sides on both sides of that striped kind of cane that you're seeing. Now, here I want you to take a moment and look at that. Oh, man. Once I flipped this thing and I had the yellow on both sides and it was butting up against that darker blue, and it really did look like a bit of a basket weave in that actual little cane. I don't know why. And then if you go ahead and butt this up against like just a solid piece right there, it gives it a really nice dynamic effect. Almost like it's not just a basket weave, but just a weave in general in the petal. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch my hands talk as I put together the rest of this particular petal cane and its flower. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and make one more using the Bullseye, and part of it was because I wasn't particularly happy with my Skinner blend one where I did the Fanfold. Usually I am over the moon about Fanfold in this particular kind of cane, but I was, to me, no, the Bullseye won out. The Bullseye was like, oh yeah, look at me now. I'm just running around. Yeah, I see you, I see you. But I'm taking this cane and I'm creating those sectional little pieces into the little sectional pieces, if that makes any sense. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one, I'm going to butt this up against one of the Bullseye flattened canes. And then I'm going to flip the other one over and kind of try to do what I tried with the fan folded cane where the black didn't quite reach, but I thought it would look really different. And I was not disappointed. I loved the effect of this cane. It was absolutely beautiful. And just a quick FYI here, I should have put in my registration mark on the top and the bottom of this particular cane. I didn't, but part of this was because when I rolled it together, the black line was still fairly evident, so I didn't have to worry about that. But suggestion, use your registration line. It will make a difference. So again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch my hands talk as I put together this last and final segmented petal cane and its flower. So these are the end results of creating my segmented petal cane using my little sectional kind of creation in it. Please use this for study and reference. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm always wondering what you're thinking. Otherwise, I am sending out my biggest hugs to each of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.